guys, what's going on? Gaming Jake here, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my deck list for Yugi, Moto, and Kaiba, or no, Seto Kaiba, because he goes by his last name. Yugi, Moto, and Seto Kaiba. I'm going to give you the deck list for those two characters for the upcoming Yu-Gi-Oh movie. Now, since the movie is not out, obviously I do not know the exact deck list or what cards they will use. If they're using alternative versions from their cards from their from the original series, or if they're going to be using those original cards from the series rather than like alternative new versions, such as like if I type in Felgrand here, I'll get multiple different Felgrand cards. This was the original Felgrand Dragon. This is the modern Felgrand Dragon. Nobody plays this one anymore because this card is just so much better and whatnot. So, I mean, like, I'll put in Buster Blader as well. Here is this Buster Blader. Now, this card actually is needed to pull off the Buster Blader archetype. You do need the original Buster Blader. However, this card is also highly used in that archetype as well, and its name becomes Buster Blader while it is in the field and or graveyard. So therefore, if it's on the field, then you can easily use it for the fusion summon, for Great Destroyer Swordsman and whatnot. And then there's other cards as well, but I won't be going into those a whole lot because I can't really think of them off the top of my head. So I'm going to be giving you guys my deck list for these two characters. Now, these deck lists are not going to be exactly the same as you can see if you look here at Yugi's. You may see a card or two that are in the OCG, which Yugi does not generally run the OCG unless it's like Eternal Soul, which I actually think came out. Nope, yeah, that's still OCG. Alright, but anyway, so, yeah, so gonna go through this. We got the Magnet Warrior Trio. Where's the other one? We got Gamma, Beta, and Alpha. And these cards actually, if y'all don't know, Gamma, Beta, and Alpha are actually scientific terms used for a magnet. There's Gamma Decay, Beta Decay, Alpha Decay, and whatnot. And I actually just found that out in my science class last week. So, that's a really cool thing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has done this before with H2O stuff. Oh man, where is it? H2O? Yeah, see H2O. Hydrogedons, which is hydrogen, and Oxygedon, which is oxygen, to special summon a water dragon, because you need two particles of hydrogen and one particle of oxygen to form water. So, this is really, really cool. I really do like how, they implement science into all this. But what's really cool about this deck list is Dark Magician and, the Blue Eyes are actually for both deck lists here. They got the new card art for the new movie, and so did Obelisk. But, this is really, really cool. I really do like the new card art, especially all three of them. I really do. I like them better than any card art we've had so far, except for Dark Magician. There's two different arts I like best of Dark Magician. I like this one and this one. I like these two right here. They're really, really cool. I don't really care much for all the others, but yeah, these two right here. And then for Dark Magician Girl, I usually use this one, but I'm definitely going to be using this one from now on. So we got Gaia the Fierce Knight. I didn't want to use his original artwork just because, since I have alternative artwork for Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, I might as well use alternative artwork for Gaia. So we got the Magnet Warrior, and then we got Summon Skull, again, alternative artwork just to fit in with the others. And then we got Winged Guardian Dragon of the Fortress #1. Yugi actually does use this card in the anime. Then we got Winged Dragon Guardian of the Fortress #2. I'm not sure if Yugi uses this one. The reason it's in this deck, and it's even weaker and everything than the #1, it's weaker. Why do I have it? It's just another normal monster, just takes up space. I use it because every one of my fusion monsters here require a dragon-type monster, except for Dark Paladin. So, more dragons, the better. So, these fusions don't require any specific dragon-type material. Now, this one, Soaring Gaia Knight, or Gaia the Dragon Champion, actually does. This one right here needs Curse of Dragon. I didn't want to use Curse of Dragon. Instead, I used Infernal Curse of Dragon, just because it's a better version of regular Curse of Dragon, because Infernal has an effect, whereas regular Curse of Dragon does not. It's just the 2,000 attack points, 1,500 defense. So Curse of Dragon's, a bit amped up and everything. It's still got the same typing, same level, same attribute, and whatnot. So it plays the exact same, except for it's got an effect, therefore it can be affected by cards like Divine Wrath and stuff like that. But, I could use this card here for any one of these fusion material monsters. And that's something really cool. So again, that's why I have number 2. So that may be a card off of the anime, but yeah. So now we got Buster Blader, again, alternative artwork just to fit in with the others. Buster Blader is needed for this fusion monster and Dark Paladin as well. They should have come up with an original name for this monster. I do not like saying the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman when there's other Destroyer Swordsman cards. So, I'm sorry. But so we got the Dark Magician alternative artwork, of course. We got the Curse of Dragon, which I've already showed you. Got Kaiba. I actually am now going to put in the alternative artwork for Kaiba, just because. But yeah, now we got Kaiba. And then we got Marshmallow. Marshmallow does not have any other artwork, but I would have loved to put that in. Now we have Obnoxious Celtic Guard. Reason I chose this one over the Celtic Guardian is because, I mean, like, this one obviously has cooler artwork, because it's drawn by the original, so it would be this card, basically. It would be under this card's artwork, and then Summon Skull also has one too, but I prefer that artwork. But, I chose Obnoxious because of his effect cannot be destroyed with monsters over 1900 attack, and it's got the same attack, defense points level, attribute type, everything, so I figured it's just a better version, although I would have loved to use that artwork as well. Now we got the really cool cards that only Yugi uses. Atem does not. Atem, Yami, whatever you want to call him, does not use these cards. So here we have Silent Magician, and then we have Silent Swordsman. These cards I really do like because they're unique to Yugi. Now, level monsters are used in Generation 2 by Chaz Princeton. He uses Armed Dragons, and that's sort of when they were revamped, because that Armed Dragon has, I think, 4 different forms. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So Armed Dragon 3, Armed Dragon 5, Armed Dragon 7, and then Armed Dragon 10. So again, I feel like levels became a thing, like an official thing. Like, people would actually play them when Armed Dragons came out, because the Armed Dragon archetype is very, very threatening, especially when you get to around 7. If you can stop them at 3 or 5, it's not that bad. But with cards like Level Up, it's very hard to just get out all of them. If you don't have Level Up, then it's pretty hard, because then you got to wait a whole 4 turns, and some of them actually may they have summoning conditions to summon out their upper form. During the end phase of this card destroys a monster by battle, which means that you can't. Oh wait, no, I thought that this card's effects couldn't be used this turn in their attack. But anyway. So during the end phase, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle this turn, then you can activate its effect. Whereas Armed Dragon is just, during the standby phase, same as Silent Magician or Silent Swordsman, but Silent Swordsman level 5 needs to do a direct attack in order to get out Silent Swordsman level 7. So level 5 is pretty easy to get out. You just tribute for 1, and then you can level up straight into level 7. And then for Level Magician 4, it's a bit harder because you need to go 5 whole turns normally with this card out on the field, because it gains a counter for each time your opponent draws a card. So if they upstart or anything, then obviously you will get counters for that. However, though, if they don't play upstart, then you just got to wait a whole turn of 5. You just got to wait 5 turns, and then when you get your final 5th counter, then you can tribute it during your standby phase to summon out level 8. Now, that does take 5 turns. There is a good side, though. Silent Magician level 4 will gain 500 attack points for each counter. So with that max of 5 counters, he will be at 3,500 attack points, 1,000 defense points, the same as Silent Magician level 8. So what's the point of level 8? Why do I need to go to level 8 when I'm just as powerful as level 8 with level 4? Because level 4 does not have the immunity level 8 does to spell cards. Actually, yeah. Level 8 is unaffected by every spell card. That's just a silence. It's part of the silence archetype. They all do something to spell cards except for Silent Magician here, level 4. So, level 8's always good and all, because you can get the, your opponent's spell cards don't work on him. Dark Hole, Regeki, anything like that. Snatch Steel, I know that's banned now, but it used to be a big threat. But yeah, level 4 does not have that immunity. So now we're going to level 5, wow, we're going to the Silent Swordsman cards. Silent Swordsman negates any spell card that targets Silent Swordsman level 3. So I know they got Swords of Revealing Light here in the background, obviously, and, that should give the, the heads up on, hey, Swords of Revealing Light does not work on this card, although Swords does, because it says your opponent's Monsters your opponent controls cannot declare an attack and does not target those monsters. So therefore, Silent Swordsman level 3. There's not really a whole lot of spell cards that targets monsters your opponent controls. That's probably why Snatch Steal was banned, because I think it was one of the good last of the handful. I think there's around 20 right now, but those are all specific to archetypes like Gradles and whatnot. I know Gradle probably doesn't have one, but I was just giving an example. So yeah, during your standby phase, you can tribute this to go into 5. 5 is unaffected by spell cards completely, so it's literally level 8, except for it's a lower level and lower attack points. But after you attack your opponent directly with this card, then you contribute it during your next standby phase to go into 7. Again, level up is just so much easier in this deck. That's why I run it, even though Yugi does not, because it can be so hard to just get out these monsters. Then I got the skilled Dark Magician, obviously because I got a lot of spell card support. My opponent probably does as well unless they're playing super heavy. And other than that, I mean, like counter traps. Super heavy and counter traps don't run a whole lot of spell cards, so that just leaves it up to me to play spell cards, which I actually can. So, it's not that hard to get out the 3 counters, because a lot of people nowadays play pendulums, and those all count as counters. Although Pepe or Draco Pals, whatever you want to call them now, since Pepe got nerfed, I'm pretty sure it's now called Draco Pals because of mages not being in there a whole lot. But yeah, Skill Dark Magician does gain the counters, although your opponent would be getting those counters during their turn, or your opponent would be activating those spells during your turn. So if they pop Skill Dark Magician the same turn they activate all 3 spell cards, or the remaining spell cards, then you're pretty much up a crate because you got those spell counters for nothing. So I actually, on the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2010, the DS game, I used to run Skill Dark Magician without Dark Magician in my hand or deck. It was hilarious. Probably not even the graveyard as well. I did not have Dark Magician in my graveyard or just in my deck at all. Yeah, so I run 2 of those just because it's good attack points, level 4, easy summon, in basic, or not basic, but good enough defense, for the 1700. Now I have Stone Statue of the Aztecs. This card is actually used by Yugi himself during some part of the anime. I'm not sure whichever. Now, a lot of people don't recognize this card as a card by Yugi because Giant Soldier of Stone is a huge... Well, okay. Anyway, that was weird. Like I was saying, Statue of the Aztecs is a whole lot better than just Giant Soldier of Stone. And yes, I am aware that I'm in all caps. But it's not Giant Soldier of Stone. Yes, it has more attack points, and it's a lower level. Therefore, it can't be affected by cards like Gravity Bind and whatnot. But nobody plays Gravity Bind nowadays. Its defense is the same, so why Giant Soldier of Stone over Stone Statue of the Aztecs? Because Stone Statue of the Aztecs has an effect, whereas this card does not. Same reason I went for Infernal Curse of Dragon rather than just Curse of Dragon. This card basically, whenever your opponent attacks Aztecs, then they take double the damage. So if they summon a monster with 1600 attack points, they think they can do piercing with like a dual sword, maybe this card, no, this card, no, this card, no, maybe twin sworded marine or marauder, I don't know. But, that card, 1600 attack points, can deal damage, or it can deal piercing. They think that you just set a dead monster. You really didn't. So not only will they be taking the 400 from the 16 to the 20, but any battle damage your opponent takes when they attack this monster is doubled. So therefore, they will be taking the other 400. So again, that's 800 damage right off the bat, and that's just with the 1600 monster. If they want to go lower and probably get lucky with the 1100, 1200 monster, then, that's always good. Now I have Valkyrion, the Magnet Warrior. Now, I do want to say I did not have all the Magnet Warrior cards at the beginning of this deck list because I didn't, it was very hard to get out all the Magnet Warriors on the field. Oh, wait, no, from your hand or side of the field. Never mind. So as long as you have all 3 either on the hand or field, I think you could have 2 on field, 1 on hand or anything like that, then you can get out Valkyrion. But, Valkyrion. But originally I had, Magician... level. I had, no,